Yeah, so let's talk sovereign citizenship. I could have, if I would have took time to format this, I would have looked in, instead of trying to give facts off of my brain, I would have actually this down and made little bullets of, okay, this is my point here, this is my point here, little impact statement, so it can be more betterly constructed or whatever. But I'm gonna just speak on everything in general so you guys can understand what sovereign citizenship is, and the fact that um we are being imprisoned and enslaved without knowing that we're enslaved. So for instance, in the 40s, I believe, maybe 1942, but in the 40s, up until the 40s, nobody had social security numbers. I know that shit sounds hard as fuck to believe, right? You know, you think about the inventions that came along. They had cars by this time. We wasn't in carriages and horseback and shit. Motherfuckers had cars. Bitches had like a lot of innovative things, telephones and shit. But we had all these things, but so that we didn't have a social security. That means you were free to go negotiate a job, and your money was your money. All the money that you made was your money. We live in a country that was supposed to be designed off of people that was tired of being taxed, right? So this was a country that was stolen from a less, so-called less civilized people. And the people that came to domesticate them or colonize them came from a place that they were saying they were being taxed without their tax money representing them. You know how we send all this money to Israel and shit, and our money that they taking from us, it don't represent us. That's the same shit we complain about in 2025. Is the same shit that this country supposed to start it off the inception of this country. They started this country because motherfucker, they say no taxation without representation. And they got this thing coming up called No King's Day. We don't got no king any fucking way. Not a king don't pull out no goddamn chairs for no lessers and fucking walk away with their head all down, looking all dejected and shit. A king don't fucking hang out with child molesters and send sexual explicit shit, celebrating men that fuck little girls. Like it's some real fucked up people that's running this country and behind the scenes and shit. But when it's gonna be y'all versus us. It's gonna be y'all versus us. Us versus the fucking pedophiles. And you bitches gonna get it the worst motherfucking way. And the fact that you bitches hide the fact that you bitches get to use your perverse law. That's what now let's back to this sovereign citizenship. A sovereign citizen is a person who you don't have to prove, like for instance, right? Your ID. Your ID is saying that you belong to a society that they created. It's made up. It's fictional. Your ID is a person. It's an LLC. If I want this fucking pants right here could be a fucking person. I can make this a LLC. And you can't sue me. You got to sue these pants. This is how fucking businesses shell themselves from when they do crimes and shit. They give a penalty to the business. Now, if you go do a crime, under your person, if you're not a sovereign citizen and you have a birth certificate and it's been signed and you've been given this government agent number, so you giving us a social security number. But like I said, we didn't have no social security numbers in the 1800s, early 1900s. We didn't have none of that. But we had a whole country survive 150 years without a social security. And then when this fucking crooked evil element took over, they decided, oh, let's make them all slaves. So when your parents sign your social security, I mean your birth certificate in the beginning, that mind you, they don't have to sign it. But then that just means that they call it sovereign citizenship. They say it's for the rich. Because guess what? You can't get a job, you can't enroll in school. You know what I'm saying? You got to pay out of cash if you have a hard time getting medical services unless you can pay for medical treatment on a personal way. That's why they call it rich. But the reality is, it's not illegal. But when you say, hey, I want any kind of government assistance, the smallest things you might not even think to be government assistance, it is. Now they say, well, you're an agent of us. So when you, yeah, oh yeah, I'm finna drop. Listen, I'm gonna drop knowledge that I learned from an old common law lawyer. This got something called common law. I met a lawyer. I'm gonna get off subject and drop some more another nugget real quick. I met a common law lawyer who saved 50 people from losing their houses through the banking crisis, right? So they charged him. Mind you, this was so crazy. He told me, he said, get a printout. He said, I guarantee you don't see no charge under my name. They put him in jail, but they didn't give him a charge. They just arrested him. It was no charge under this guy's name. This is the point I'm making. They they tried to say that he stole these houses for the people. This is what they do when people. This is what happened when a person loses their home, right? So say you mortgage a house. Say you on the bank automatically sell your mortgage. They sell it. It's just like selling a person that's in debt, selling credit. You sell it to another creditor and another creditor. So what they'll do is when you got a 30-year mortgage, or especially when they had these mortgage that was just jumping out of the roof on people that they couldn't pay, the bank was betting against you. So they weren't going to wait 30 years to collect all their money. They just do a quick sell to another bank and then another. So each time they sell, the deed keeps transferring. The deed keeps transferring. So this common law lawyer who taught me all about sovereign citizenship, he was banking on the fact that the bank has sold your house so many times that they wouldn't be able to find the deed. He did a trace on just one of the houses. The house had been, mind you, the people never, this is before they even defaulted. The deed had been transferred 10 times through the banks. And it ended up being way in the Middle East somewhere. That's who owned the deed. So when they went to court, the bank, the original bank who was trying to act like they're gonna do the repossession of the house, they couldn't present the deed because the deed done been sold so many times, and the people got to stay in their house. He ended up doing that for 50 people. They put him in jail. So freaking he started dropping all kind of knowledge, and I learned from him about the sovereign citizenship. So back to the point. When you go negotiate at a job, you say, hey, I want to make X amount of dollars. That's the terms that you came to. Appreciate that, my brother. Appreciate that. That's the terms you come to with a job. And they blackballing me, so I'm surprised you was able to get through, bro, because normally they've been a drop to like a good amount, and then if it fall off, but I guess they say, no, we can't have. But I'm still spitting tonight because I'm bringing a point up real quick of when it's going to get to people might look at it as going off the rail, but I got to speak on sovereign citizenship to explain a person. So we're defined as human beings. That's why if you look at a person when they go to court, the judge or the officer say, hey, may I check your persons? You'll never hear the officer say, hey, may I check you, the human being? May I check your persons means that you belong to this society. And so that gives me the legality to check you because you're submitted to the society. If you're a sovereign citizen, you could tell me to F off because I can't check you. It's just like the Indians, the Native Americans. They're sovereign citizens. So you can't just go on a reservation and start implementing American law because they're under their sovereign citizenship under that reservation. They don't have, for the most part, social securities. So they able to work on a different construct. So that idea alone gives that officer the entity to be able to come and confront you anywhere you go, each state. So that's why the judge asks you in court. He asks you, you know how they label a person a menace to society. They ask you to state your person. State your person means that you have said you capitulate to the society and that you are deemed that if we want to persecute you under this society, what's up, Cheyenne? If we want to persecute you under this society, you capitulate by having an ID. So you can do something called denounce your citizenship. A lot of people don't know that. You could denounce your citizenship. That's not saying that they could deport you because the whole point is being sovereign, meaning I'm native to the country. I'm native. I was born here. You can't You can only, like we done learned recently, you can deport somebody who's from has a motherland, a nation state. This is my motherland. You can't deport me. I can denounce my citizenship, meaning that they got a raw movie about this guy one time. He got stuck in the airport because he was on the way to New York City, and then his country dissolved or whatever, and so they couldn't deport him out of this country because he had no nation state to return to. Well, if you're born here, you are this is already your nation state. So if you denounce your citizenship, that means I don't comply to what's going your rules of your society because I've denounced my citizenship. The only thing with that is how are you gonna survive? You can't get insurance. You can't you if the hospital say, hey, we need your social security, they well, that's what I'm saying. You just go to Google and go look up the steps and say, how do I denounce my citizenship? I'm here to tell you, bro. It like I give you another example. Do you know people don't need car insurance if they got the amount that state each state allocates how much money you must have in your bank account to not have car insurance? I remember when the first time I seen a guy had these funny looking letters. It wasn't even a regular text. You got something called a national American that you can get a American national badge. It's called U.S. national or something, where it's not a state ID or nothing. You go from each state with this personal tag and all that. You got to mind you, in order to get in cyber citizenship, not anybody can just get into it. You have to really learn it because when you don't know, they'll try to cross you up. Meaning that the first officer that get behind you, let's say you riding without a tag on your car, he gonna try to pull you over and you ain't got no tag. You gonna say, yeah, I don't got no ID either. But you gotta be able to present something that shows that you belong as a sovereign citizen. You just can't just go with the I ain't got no bad, I'm a sovereign citizen. That ain't gonna work. So you gotta once you apply and all this, but you gotta have your money right. You gotta have something where, cause think about it, how is money gonna go to a bank account? You can't get a bank account, you ain't got no social security. So you see how they put you into all this stuff, like it's all these rules that kind of go hand in hand. So if you got money formulating, like if you started an LLC, a person, right? Because an LLC is a person. I want you to always remember Walmart is a person, Target is a person. Every business in America is a person. That's why these persons get to donate to political campaigns because they're persons. They're not humans, they're persons. That's why, like I said, when they're found doing wrong, hey, what's up, Shine? I said what it is. What's good? I'm just dropping this knowledge right now. I got to drop this knowledge because I'm here to tell you now. I'm finna bring it to the second part of this sovereign citizenship. So we talk about human trafficking. Human trafficking has been going on in life where I've met so many women that was molested under the custody of DCF or it's different states they call it different things, but it's called Department of Children's and Families. See, when like now let's going back to when you sign this birth certificate for your child, you thinking, well, I'm gonna help my kid get Medicaid. You know, these are the functional things your kids need. They need WIC and food and assistance like that, you know. So you're trying to do the best for your child, but what you're not aware of, you're signing them as an agent of the state. That means when the state feels that they want to try to come in your home and take your kid, mind you, you can't take a sovereign citizen kid. This is my child. This child belong to me. But when you sign over to the state and are issued a social security number, now the state has authority to take your child. See, they don't have authority to just take a natural born child born to his mother. Nothing gets signed. But when you sign over and assign them a social security, now you're for them. Going back to the agent, let me tell you what I mean by agent of the state. Before they established social security, when you used to work and you negotiate a deal with a job, what you got paid is what you got paid. The state couldn't take no money out your paycheck because you wasn't an agent of the state. You was just a sovereign citizen. We all were, well, not us now, but I'm just in general, we were once upon a time in America all sovereign citizens. We didn't get we had to pay property taxes, but we didn't have to pay payroll taxes because we were our own individuals. But when they made us persons, once we became persons, we all became slaves. And mind you, this formulated, look at the timeline. 1865 slavery ends. 19, so we go this time period of people working black and white, but now they realizing, man, we're not getting as much revenue. They got to offset not having a slave trade no more. So then they assign social security numbers to white, blacks, and every American citizen. That's how they was able to recruit the money. What you think stocks and bonds is? Bonds, really talking about bonds, U.S. bonds. U.S. bonds are the same like a gold, right? So gold is a commodity that you could say, hey, we're basing our money off of how much natural resources we got. Well, human beings are natural resources. Your labor, they already have an estimate on, they follow you throughout your life. They say, okay, this guy's been working every year. This guy's is predicted, he's estimated to make this much in his lifetime. So if you, let's say you're gonna make $700,000 in your lifetime, you are a resource. So now, and this guy's gonna pay about $200,000 in taxes in his lifetime. You are a resources. If I couldn't get $200,000 out you, that weakens my dollar. You see how now my dollar can, if it was the gold standard, the same thing that got John F. Kennedy killed when he wanted to go to the gold standard. He didn't want to do fiat currency. You know, when you just pump money into the the world, pump money into the country, money that's not there, that's not validated by anything, so it's just paper money. Okay, when he wanted to do the gold standard, they killed him. So my whole point is we found a new way and we was like, oh yeah, Social Security. We just gonna our standard don't have to be gold, our standard to be labor. So we base our standard of how much you're gonna be taxed in your life off of payroll taxes when you're not supposed to pay payroll taxes because on the job with you. We supposed to pay property taxes. We supposed to pay sale taxes. That's the taxes that's supposed to be recouped, not payroll taxes. But you're an agent of the state. I hope this touched somebody and like I really dropped some knowledge because I got inspired to really drop this video because I be stay away from these things, but I just got disrespected. And I said, you know what? I gotta go ahead and let everybody know when we talk about human trafficking, nobody traffics more kids than DCF. They have a kid that recently died in DCF because he was stabbed by another kid that was staying in the facility. And his mom was heartbroken. She was like, they took the child out of her home. They put him into the home that they didn't have any regulation over, and then he got killed. And as the story goes on and 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 on. If you think about how many kids that was molested, and I said this, and I don't know if you was in for this part, but I said I challenge you. Next time you see a addict or a young person that look like they're young and they're in the streets, ask them if they ever been in DCF because the chances are they have, and that's where they problem started. You know, yeah, yeah. I'm telling you, Cheyenne, that they been trafficking our kids for so long. How do you think? Let's. I'm gonna get a little deeper because I'm from South Florida. Jeffrey Epstein lived in Palm Beach. Donald Trump lived in Palm Beach. I'm from the county right below Palm Beach. I spent a lot of time doing jobs and working in Palm Beach, et cetera, et cetera. Worked for millionaires, all of this. The these places, you will be surprised these guys if they did a money trail. Sometimes it's secret donors, and mind you, you can have a non-profit. That's what they call it, and they don't track for non-profit donations. That's the crazy part, right? They don't track these. So when you have a Jeffrey Epstein and he's giving money to a for non-profit, they're just feeding them girls, feeding them children that they're taking out of people's homes. Feed it's an unlimited so-called legal supply where they could just come in. I'm gonna probably do one in the morning. I'm about to end it right now. I'm glad you asked me that, brother, because I done did enough venting. I really hope that somebody see this in the morning and push it. Hey, give me a like, cause I know that ain't your. Oh, you did give me a like. I appreciate that, bro. Yeah, I'm gonna do one probably in the morning, but I just had to get some venting off real quick, and I hope that you run this back. I know that you just came in late, but when you get the chance, bro, run it back. You're gonna get some real jewels out of this, bro. So it sound like you about to check out. I'm about to drop a little bit more knowledge and then I'm about to end it too. So appreciate that though, fam. So my last thing I'll say to y'all is this. Whoever comes across this video, you gonna call me crazy for saying this, but it's the truth. I can't validate it because they done erase so much stuff offline, but I'm gonna tell y'all something I discovered. So I just talked about how I'm going probably going to turn. Oh, bro, get man, you gotta get some rest, brother. Come on, 319, fam. Even when I was in school, I ain't stay up this late, bro. Get you some rest, brother. So this is what I'm gonna tell y'all. Our states invest in properties overseas. So our states have their own treasuries, like how we're supposed to have a national treasure. I remember coming across a website a long time ago, and mind you, we live in a new country now where the information you getting is the information they allow to be up. But reason they building all these data centers all around the country is to store the stuff that they take away from you that you can't see. They're not getting rid of it. Like I said, nothing on the internet ever goes away. They just hide it. So I remember, I'll say approximately around 2008. I'm on the internet and I'm just doing research on bonds because I had that's when I first started hearing about sovereign citizenship and people being bonds like how gold is. And so I was looking at the revenue that Florida collects, and it was a site that used to show the GDP of each state. So we got a national GDP, but we also got a statewide GDP. So Florida, I was looking at what Florida had, and but then I came across something led me down the rabbit hole of all these properties, because you know how the county can, like, let's talk about on the local level. The county can buy up property within the county, right? The county has a county budget, and the county can say, hey, let's buy this property. Let's buy this. I was just watching a town that I live by called Warner Robins, and they was buying up their own downtown, so they can do things what they want to do. Well, the same way a county can buy up property, a state can buy up property. You got state owned property. But what I did not know is a state can buy property outside of the country, like an investment. It's almost like taking tax money and putting it in the private sector to make it make money. Remember, they've been trying to do this for years. They've been trying to privatize Social Security. They've been saying it for years. Privatize it, privatize it. So it's almost like saying, hey, we're gonna take this state tax money. And I seen Florida had properties. Oh, don't make me, I want to say one of them was Monteco. And I said, what the hell? They got properties in Florida? What the fuck do Florida got a property? This led me down a crazy. I was scared. I looked at it for that night. I never went to find it again. Then when I tried to go back to it 2, 3 years ago, I couldn't find anything remotely of that nature. That's why I don't like talk about it, because I like to talk about things that I currently find right now that validate what I'm saying. But I will tell you, I remember seeing years ago that our states, and even if you didn't buy into that, you can best believe that our country owns prop. Like you already know, our country owns Puerto Rico. Look how they're using Puerto Rico as a proxy right now. The people they don't do nothing for Puerto Rico. They exploit the hell out of them. And then when they need to go to war, they say, "Hey, we finna put all our war shit over here. And if y'all get bombed, y'all get bombed. As long as they don't bring that shit to American soil, we gonna set up in Puerto Rico." So of course, our country owns other properties, but states own properties as well, and we all are being used as proxies and as slaves of the state. Just know that. So when you want to learn about something in life and get real freedom, learn about sovereign citizenship. Sovereign citizenship is your right to literally be left alone and not be complicit to the laws that we can't control. Because, like I said, we started this country saying that we were tired of being taxed. That's the whole point of starting America. We said we were being taxed and our tax money wasn't representing us. And now in 2025, we're sending all this money to Israel and our taxes isn't representing us. It's the same thing, history repeating itself. So, hope y'all enjoy that. We start calling out these places like these child service places that don't they do more harm than they do help. And let's get the word out, man, and take our country back. Yeah.